Hey guys, Satoshi here. I am back with another video. Today I want to discuss, does Sam have a conscience? And I don't know what to say about this because if you look at how Sam has behaved, Mustang Midnight says hello. How's it going, Mustang? Good to see you again. When you look at how Sam has behaved in this series, the question if Sam has a conscience really is valid, I think. Because if you look at how she reacts in most situations, she seems to like either not care or simply deflect responsibility. Like when she was in the car she was in the car with Yasmin and Yasmin's car hit into Johnny's car, Sam chose to remain quiet about that. And some people defend her choice to not say anything regarding this, but I just don't see it that way. I see from Sam is a person who did not want to take any type of responsibility or accountability for what transpired that night. You know, look at what happened when she accused Tory of stealing, and it turns out it wasn't Tory who did anything. Do you think that she apologized for trying to snatch Tory's purse? Nope. I don't think so. No, she just starts focusing on her martial arts even more, right? And some people are like, "Oh, it wasn't that." You know, you're kind of missing the series of events. Maybe my recollection isn't perfect, but I could have sworn that she started training harder again after the whole run-in with Tori. If I'm wrong, you can tell me different. You can say no, it was no, she had already started training. What? So she didn't start training more seriously? Okay. At the end of the day, she doesn't. Sam seems like she doesn't have much of a conscience. Like she can care about others. She definitely has empathy. All right, she can. Let me correct our sympathy. Let me correct myself. Sympathy. I shouldn't say empathy. I think empathy is something that she has a real problem with. Sympathy. She can sympathize and feel sorry for others. For example, when she saw Aisha being alienated and suffering, she looked over at her sympathetically, like, "Sorry, I can't help you, but I feel sorry for what's happening to you." But she couldn't put herself in the shoes of Aisha. And Sam doesn't really want to risk anything, including her social status, not very often, you know? And she has no problem with basically jumping from one person to another, getting rid of old friends, getting new friends. She has like literally no problem with that at all. She has no real friends, like no true friends that would really be there for her. I don't think if like there was something serious that happened, like Moon, come on, Moon is everyone's friend. Moon is like the nicest character in Cobra Kai. Granted, she was mean to Aisha originally, but after that, she really changed. And it may simply not have even been who she was as a person originally. And I think that I'm not giving her a pass for having been one of the people who made Aisha's life more difficult, but I can give her credit for her choice to grow as a human being, as a person. There are some people who say that Carmen might actually be the nicest character in Cobra Kai, which is another question in of itself. But I will say this: Sam isn't the nicest person in Cobra Kai. All right, everyone wants to believe a lot of people may want to believe she's the nicest character. She isn't. You know, she absolutely isn't. Everything in this world isn't black and white. Things exist within shades of gray. And when it comes to Sam, she's a person who just doesn't seem to care about the rights of others, about respecting others, and when it comes to empathizing and being able to relate to others, because she views everything through her own lens, where she's both the victor, but also like the victim at the same time. Like she's the victor and the victim. Like she's stronger than the person who's trying. She's stronger than Tory. Tory is the villain, So basically, it's like Sam is always a powerful victim. She's always powerful. Like she's always the victim, but she's the powerful victim. She's the stronger one, Like Tory doesn't pretend to be a good person. She doesn't pretend to be perfect. She doesn't pretend to be something that she's not. She has her flaws. And I feel like she embraces those flaws. Okay? People are like, "Oh, there's like a hint of evil from Tory." It's so interesting because you say that and then everyone completely ignores how Sam behaves. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, Sam is mean. Sam is mean, and she just like acts. She just kind of like goes through life without caring. Like the bridges that she burns and the things that she does, she just goes from one place to another. Sarai says that she does have a conscience. She does have a conscience. I see what you're saying. It's not very pure though. So he's saying she has a conscience, and you're right. Like at the end of season three, at the end of season two, she goes, "It's all my fault," and it kind of like it finally clicked for her, or she was forced to like look critically at herself and like what her actions had done, because she's not stupid, all right, but at the same time, like you're right, like it's not pure. Like her conscience is not pure. All right. It's not. It's because she's like she doesn't want to own up to it. She doesn't want to own up to it. Nathan says Sam is worse than Tori. I agree entirely. And Nathan also says, "How are you? Good to see you, bro. I'm here. Just I felt like putting out this another video. Just felt like putting out this video right now because I wanted to. I felt like talking about a little bit more about Sam and how she is as a character and how she treats others and how she relates to others. And like I said, I personally do not feel that Sam relates well to others. While she can have sympathy for others, she doesn't have empathy. All right. And she doesn't really want to risk anything for anyone else. For example, she didn't want to risk her social status with the rich girls, with the mean girls to ensure that her friendship with Aisha was secured. A person like Tori is confident. Tori can walk around the school and she's happy being with Aisha, and she respects Aisha and treats Aisha like a human being. She really does. She really, really does. She treats Aisha like a real person, like a real human being. And I have so much respect for her as a result of that. I do. I have so much respect for her. And I feel like Sam does not treat Sam did not treat Aisha like a person. And we can see that reflected in her character. We can see it reflected throughout the series. It's just there. Like, is Sam the kind of person that you would want to have your back? Because I've seen enemies that are much more trustworthy than Sam, Because when the going gets tough, Sam gets going, just like her father. All right? When they create a problem, they run away. They leave others to clean up the mess. Like, yeah, this has nothing like Daniel. Daniel scoffs at Johnny, blaming Johnny for what happened to Miguel after he spent all this time training Robbie. Like John, like it's insane. Daniel, Robbie's sensei, blames Robbie, and basically he's saying what he's trying to say now is, you know what? I mean, like, it's one of the worst things you can do by saying, like, you know what, Robbie, you're just a bad apple because you're your father's son. Like, what the heck? Like think about how terrible that is to say, like, saying that he's bad just because he's his father's son. So because Robbie screwed up after being trained by Daniel and left in the care of Daniel by his mother, you've got to be kidding me. Johnny is to blame for all of this. Johnny is to blame for Robbie just by the extension of being his father. A father who was, by the way, very absent from what we've seen. Just by the extension of being his father. Just by the extension. He's to blame. You've got to be kidding me. And it's like that one track. It's a very one track way of thinking, one track minded way of thinking, where you cannot see other perspectives. And after you create a problem, you then blame others. You then blame others along the way when people are trying to fix it. It's a complete and utter joke. And in my heart, I see like it's like Robbie feels like he was headed down a path of there was nothing good in his future. And I think that he really genuinely at some points wanted to change, although there are things about him that made it difficult for him. Like some old behaviors die hard, and I give him credit. I admit he's a teenager, and teenagers do stupid things. But I think that Robbie was honestly really taken advantage of. Because like that whole feud between his father and Daniel, I think Daniel maybe meant the best, but what he did with Robbie and trying to play Mr. Virtuous is a joke. Like, I mean, he tried to be more virtuous than Miyagi, and it's like it's interesting because it's the moment something happened, peace out, like peace out. I've got my own kid to raise, You don't hear you. It's just unbelievable, and he's never really changed. He's never changed. Messiah says, but I think Miguel still likes Sam because he said she loves me, not you, in the middle of the school fight, and that's a good point. That's a good point that you've made. That's an excellent point that you've made. That he did say that, but at the same time, it's questionable. It's highly questionable because he actually chose Tory at the party. So he may just have said that simply because he wanted to make Robbie upset, or maybe he meant it. I think at the end of the day, both of these guys need to move on from Sam. Because I mean, I feel like Sam and Robbie definitely could be like in a relationship, and they could definitely have a future together. I don't ever want to see Sam and Miguel ever back together. Like I would never want to see Sam and Miguel ever back together because I hold Sam responsible for so much of this. Tori is to blame for that fight, for the entire fight breaking out. She brought it to that level, but Sam is a person who kept on escalating and escalating and escalating and pushing Tori to the point where Tori let her know that she was not going to take it anymore. She was going to stand up for herself. I will not say that Tori did it in the right way. I will not say that I believe Tori did the right thing in escalating things to the all-out school fighting. But I am saying this right now that Sam orchestrated so much of this. Her actions, her inability to be accountable, to hold herself accountable for her decisions, her inability to empathize with others, her inability to control the decisions that she made, to hold herself back from kissing Miguel or saying no. I mean, it's her inability to be accountable for the decisions that she makes in her own life. I feel that those are the factors that led up to so much of what we saw in the series. She is not perfect. She is not the worst person in the world. She is a person who is heavily flawed, I believe, but I still think that she needs to be held accountable, and we need to be honest about what happened, But yeah, guys, that's everything I have for you. Get this video to 100 likes if you want me to continue putting out more Cobra Kai videos like this one, if you want me to keep doing more podcasts like this one. And also let me know what you think in the comments about this. Does Sam have a conscience? Do you think she has a conscience, or she doesn't have a conscience? Also, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and never miss another Cobra Kai video. Again, share this video on other platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, and others. So both new and old Cobra Kai fans and the Karate Kid fans can find these videos. But I think I like this one right here. This comment from Black Tar Hero One says LaRusso should have listened when Johnny said, "Get your house in order." I agree, and I will end the podcast on that note. Let me know what you guys think about that comment from Black Tar Heroin, if you agree with that. Mathen says subbed. Thanks, man. And Richardson says Miguel ended up injured because of Sam. I agree very much with that. You guys, it's so funny. I'm trying to end the podcast and you guys are still going. And you know what? I think that's like great, ending on a positive note, ending with people wanting to continue going. So I think that's a great way of going. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.